Once upon a time, there was a cruel and aggressive king who ruled over a vast kingdom. He was known for his temper and his ruthless treatment of his subjects. One day, the king heard of a wise and compassionate man named Buddha who was living in a nearby forest. The king decided to go and meet the Buddha to see if he could teach him how to be more powerful and feared. When the king arrived at the Buddha's forest, he found him sitting under a tree meditating. The king approached the Buddha and said, "I am the king of this land, and I have come to learn from you how to be more powerful and feared." The Buddha opened his eyes and looked at the king. He said, "True power does not come from fear. It comes from within. If you want to be powerful, you must first learn to control your own mind and emotions." The king was angry at the Buddha's words. He said, "I am the king. I am the most powerful man in this land." The Buddha smiled and said, "If you are truly powerful, then you will not need to fear anyone or anything. You will be able to face any challenge with a calm and collected mind." The king was intrigued by the Buddha's words. He asked, "How can I learn to control my mind and emotions?" The Buddha said, "You must practice meditation. Meditation will help you to become more aware of your thoughts and emotions. Once you are aware of them, you can begin to control them." The king agreed to try meditation. The Buddha taught him how to sit quietly and focus on his breath. The king started meditating for a few minutes each day. At first, he found it difficult to focus on his breath, but over time, he became better at it. As the king continued to meditate, he began to notice a change in himself. He became less angry and more compassionate. "It's you don't know." He also became more aware of the suffering of his subjects. One day, the king was walking through his kingdom when he saw a group of peasants who were struggling to carry a heavy load. The king stopped and helped them to carry their load. The peasants were surprised and grateful for the king's kindness. Now, the king continued to help his subjects and to rule his kingdom with wisdom and compassion. He became known as a good and just king, and his kingdom prospered. The king's story teaches us that true power comes from within. It comes from controlling our own minds and emotions. When we are able to control ourselves, we become more powerful and more compassionate.